Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Young and the Restless spoilers Thursday, September 26. Sharon attacks Heather, Daniel and Lucy's horrifying discovery. The Young and the Restless, Lion R. Spoilers for Thursday, September 26, reveal that Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, will realize she's in a tight spot now that Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom, has found her inside Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s Michael Graziadei penthouse. Cameron Kirsten, Lyndon Ashby, warned that Sharon wouldn't be able to talk her way out of this if she got caught, and for once, he's right. There's just no innocent explanation Sharon could offer that would make her break-in make sense. Heather might threaten to call the cops on Sharon, who could easily panic, especially if Cameron reappears and pushes her to silence Heather before it's too late. Sharon might whack Heather in the head with something to knock her out. Then again, maybe Sharon will get into a struggle with Heather and send her flying into something by mistake. Regardless, it looks like Sharon will attack Heather somehow and flee. I and our spoilers point to Sharon's plot, bringing some danger, so Heather will inevitably be on the receiving end of that. Later, Sharon will end up crying outside over the chaos she's unleashed and will wonder how she's going to get out of this mess. We'll see Sharon break down at Cassie's grave before the week's over, so there's much more drama to come. In the meantime, Daniel and Lucy Romalotti, Lily Brooks O'Brien, will likely come home to a horrifying discovery. Heather may be unconscious on the floor and in need of medical attention following her disastrous run-in with Sharon. If that's the case, Lucy and Daniel will surely call 911 so that paramedics can get Heather to the emergency room ASAP. Will Heather pull through this awful ordeal? And if she does, will she remember the showdown and point the finger at Sharon when she regains consciousness? No matter how all this plays out, Sharon still needs mental help and a way out of the terrible hole that Cameron helped dig for her. Our why and our predictions point to some scary moments for Daniel's family, while Sharon's trying to come to grips with this catastrophe, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, may come to Sharon's aid eventually, so stay tuned for updates on any rescue news that may be looming. The tension in Genoa City had been building for weeks, and on Thursday, September 26, it finally erupted into chaos. Secrets, lies, and hidden agendas clashed, leading to confrontations that no one saw coming, with Sharon, Daniel, and Lucy right in the center of it all. Sharon's fury unleashed. Sharon Newman, always a pillar of strength and resilience, found herself at a breaking point. Heather Stevens had been tiptoeing around the edges of Sharon's life for too long, and now the time for confrontation had arrived. It all started when Sharon overheard a hushed conversation between Heather and Chance at Crimson Lights, where it became clear that Heather was gathering information on something deeply personal to Sharon, something that had the potential to destroy her hard-won stability. Though she couldn't hear every word, Sharon's instincts told her Heather was up to no good. Paranoia gnawed at her as she rushed home to piece together the fragments of this mystery. By the time Sharon spotted Heather outside the Newman Tower later that afternoon, she was already seeing red. The cold, calculating expression on Heather's face only fueled Sharon's suspicions. Heather, ever the cool-headed attorney, had been working on something underhanded. Sharon could feel it in her gut. "You've been digging into my life, haven't you?" Sharon accused, striding up to Heather with a fiery glare. Heather's expression remained calm, but her eyes sparkled with a touch of amusement. "I'm an attorney, Sharon. I investigate what needs investigating. If you're feeling exposed, maybe that's because there's something you don't want people to know." That snide comment pushed Sharon over the edge. She lunged toward Heather, shoving her hard enough to send her stumbling against the marble columns of the building. The sudden attack shocked everyone in the vicinity, but Sharon's anger was all-consuming. "You have no right to dig up my past," Sharon hissed, her voice trembling with rage. "Stay away from me and my family, or you'll regret it." Heather, though shaken, recovered quickly and smoothed out her blazer. "Touch me again, and you'll be the one regretting it in court," she warned, her tone steely. But before things could escalate further, Nick arrived on the scene. Pulling Sharon back, he shot Heather a withering glance. "You need to go," he ordered Heather, his voice low and threatening. Heather raised an eyebrow but did as she was told, walking away with a confident smirk that only inflamed Sharon more. Nick turned to Sharon, gripping her shoulders. What was that about? You can't go around attacking people like that. She'll use this against you. But Sharon, still breathing heavily, couldn't let it go. She's digging up something, Mick. Something big, and it's going to ruin everything if we don't stop her. Daniel and Lucy's horrifying discovery. Across town, Daniel Romolati and his daughter Lucy were dealing with a shocking turn of events of their own. They had planned a simple day, a father-daughter outing that would help Lucy escape the drama surrounding her custody battle with Heather. But what started as an innocent day at the park turned into a nightmare neither of them could have anticipated. It began when Lucy, exploring the edge of Chancellor Park, stumbled upon a strange metallic object buried in the dirt. Curious, she called her dad over to investigate. Daniel, always one to encourage his daughter's sense of adventure, knelt down beside her and started brushing away the dirt. What they uncovered wasn't just a discarded piece of junk, it was an old, rusted lockbox, clearly buried for years. Daniel's pulse quickened with curiosity, and Lucy, wide-eyed, couldn't contain her excitement. Do you think it's treasure, Dad? With a gentle smile, Daniel tried to play along, only one way to find out. But the moment Daniel forced the box open, their day took a sinister turn. Inside were old, yellowed papers and a small bundle wrapped in a weathered cloth. The smell of decay hit them as Daniel unwrapped the bundle, revealing a shocking discovery. A stack of Polaroids from what appeared to be a crime scene. A woman, bruised and beaten, lying motionless on a bed. Lucy's breath hitched, her excitement giving way to horror. Dad, what is this? Daniel's face drained of color. He had seen his share of disturbing things, but this was something darker, something that should have stayed buried. He quickly stuffed the photos back into the box and slammed it shut, his mind racing. We need to get out of here, Daniel said, his voice tight with panic. He grabbed Lucy's hand, pulling her away from the sight. But even as they walked quickly toward the car, the weight of what they'd found followed them like a shadow. Who had buried that box in Chancellor Park? And what was the story behind those disturbing images? One thing was certain, this discovery wasn't going to stay hidden for long. Daniel knew that whatever they had stumbled upon was just the beginning of something far more dangerous. He had to protect Lucy from the truth, but deep down, he knew it was only a matter of time before they would be pulled deeper into the mystery. The fallout begins. Back at Sharon's house, the aftermath of her confrontation with Heather loomed large. Nick tried to calm her down, but Sharon was on edge. She couldn't shake the feeling that Heather's investigation had uncovered something far worse than anyone expected, and with her violent outburst, she'd have probably played right into Heather's hands. Meanwhile, Daniel couldn't shake the image of those photos from his mind. He debated what to do. Should he tell the police? Or would that only drag Lucy further into the darkness? The weight of the secret was already too much for him to bear, but leaving it alone didn't feel right either. As night fell over Genoa City, it was clear that this was just the beginning. Sharon's war with Heather was far from over, and Daniel and Lucy's horrifying discovery was about to unravel a dark mystery that would shake the entire town to its core. Genoa City was a place where secrets always had a way of coming to light, and Thursday, September 26, would mark the day those secrets began to bubble to the surface, leaving no one untouched by the fallout.